This is the moment a mother was sentenced to life in prison after torturing her disabled son to death. Shonda Vander Ark, aged 44, was convicted of murder and child abuse after she killed her 15-year-old son Timothy Ferguson in 2022. The mother tortured the boy, who had autism with speech and motor impairment.
Hey special family, welcome back to another Furious reaction video. There's a story going around, it's a little old, about a year old, about a mom who ended her and her severely disabled daughter's life. Let's take a look at the video.
Thinking about that mum and her disabled daughter who have passed away. She obviously felt like there was just no other option, for whatever reason that may be. You can tell by the people that are coming out now who actually knew the family how much of a devoted mum she was to that little girl. But some of the comments I have seen are just horrific. And I think it's hard as hell looking after a child with any kind of additional needs, I should know. But to then look after a child who is severely disabled is another level of hard, and I just could not imagine. And the fact that she was a single mum on her own, we don't know what her support network was like, we don't know anything. The people that are commenting on this and having an opinion on this woman as a mother, unless you've walked one day in that person's shoes, you have no idea what life was like for them. I just feel really sad about it, and I just wish that they had more support and help.
So this is not the first time I've seen a video like this. I have seen videos where parents have done this before, and their reasoning was they were so exhausted and burned out that they snapped at this one meltdown who was the drop that made the bucket overflow. And before they knew it, they blacked out and didn't know what happened and ended that child. But in this case, the mom did it for both of them, and she left some last words that are very understandable, to be honest. Like, I understand her reasoning. I'm not condoning the reason why she did it, but in her mind, that made sense. That made logic, you know. And this happens to a lot of parents. A lot of parents have these thoughts.
This is the moment a mother was sentenced to life in prison after torturing her disabled son to death. Shonda Vander Ark, aged 44, was convicted of murder and child abuse after she killed her 15-year-old son Timothy Ferguson in 2022. The mother tortured the boy, who had autism with speech and motor impairment, by feeding him only bread covered in hot sauce, depriving him of sleep and forcing him into ice baths as punishment. The child died at his family's home, weighing just 69 pounds. An autopsy found he died from malnourishment and hypothermia. Vander Ark is said to have covered the house and the tiny closet Timothy was sleeping in with motion sensors, alarms, and live feed cameras. Vander Ark has 5 biological children, one of them being 21-year-old Paul Ferguson, who was also arrested after being involved in the torture. During the trial last year, Vander Ark was shown pictures of her emaciated son by prosecutors, and she began to throw up. She was ultimately sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Her son, Paul Ferguson, was sentenced to between 30 to 100 years for his role in the torture. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments.
Did y'all hear about the mom that unalived her special needs daughter because she said she was too much to handle? Yes, her name is Alondra Hobbs. So Alondra was a 29-year-old mother, and she had a 7-year-old daughter. On June 25th, 2023, the police responded to an anonymous call about her 7-year-old daughter being unresponsive, found in a closet. When the police arrived, they found her daughter's body. Her name is Olivia. They found her in their apartment, and the apartment was vacant. The mom had moved out of the apartment months prior. Olivia suffered from autism and cerebral palsy related seizures. She was also nonverbal and required full-time care. At first, her mom tried to say that she was getting out of a toxic situation with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend would not allow her to come see her daughter Olivia. But it turns out that that was a lie, and the mother finally admitted to abandoning Olivia. She said that Olivia was simply too much. She said that she could not deal with it, and she just up and left her daughter there. I don't know anything about taking care of someone with special needs, so I can't fully speak on that. But I do hear a lot that some people say is difficult. But my thing is, if it's difficult, you need to allow someone else to take care of that child. You could have given your child up and sent her away to somewhere where people are paid to do that. People are more patient, have a little more experience. Leaving your child there to be unalived and struggle like that up until she was unalived is inexcusable. She was sentenced to life in prison, of course, and I do feel like it's very well deserved.
This woman was sentenced after her daughter died under her care. Doralia Espinoza was sentenced in the death of her 16-year-old daughter Maria, who had special needs. The case came to light after Maria was brought to a hospital in New Mexico in critical condition, where doctors quickly noticed signs that concerned them. Medical staff reported that Maria was severely malnourished and dehydrated, and her condition suggested she had been suffering for an extended period of time. Despite efforts to save her, Maria died shortly after arriving at the hospital. Investigators later determined that Maria had been living under Espinoza's care and that her basic needs were not being met. Prosecutors alleged that the situation inside the home deteriorated over time and that Maria's condition should have been addressed long before emergency medical care was sought. Espinoza later entered a no-contest plea, avoiding a trial. During sentencing, prosecutors argued that Maria's suffering was prolonged and preventable. The defense asked for leniency, citing Espinoza's personal struggles, but the judge said accountability was unavoidable. The judge sentenced her to 15 years in prison, stating the punishment reflected the seriousness of the crime. Do you think justice was served? Let me know in the comments.
As a parent, if you have these thoughts, the sooner you can get a therapist and try to have your mental health evaluated, checked, speak to a professional to get you through this, the better for you and that child. Because even though our kids are disabled, they can feel our energy. They can feel when things are not right. And if you can't do it anymore, even if that means giving up your right, I know you feel like no one can take care of your child better than you can. But at the same time, are you taking better care of that child if you're going to harm them, if you're going to end their life? How do you know that that's a better outcome? So if you can't help your thought process, you can't help yourself, seek out a specialist or put that child in a position or a situation or a place where you won't have to incriminate yourself or do something that you can't come back from, when you never know how that child's life could have played out. So let me know in the comment section below what you think about this video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.